Namaste, everyone. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to Indian Yoga Association for giving me this wonderful opportunity and this great honor to be invited to this 21-day series as a tribute to women yogacharinis in conjunction with International Yoga Day 2024. And this opportunity to speak on a topic very close to my heart, yoga for women's empowerment. Now, before I go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Shailaja Menon, and I have been a yoga practitioner and teacher for over 25 years now. I began my yoga journey in Coimbatore, South India, with Integral Yoga by Swami Sachidananda. And in Malaysia, where I live now, I continue to practice with my teacher, Manoj Kaimal, under the style Manasa Yoga. Along the way, I have also been guided by many wonderful teachers, including Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Bal Yogi Bhavnani. Now, along the way, I became an author, a speaker. My first book, Yoga Shakti, was published in 2018, and my second book, Breathe Bend Be, was published just 6 months ago by Hay House. Now, back to the topic, yoga for women's empowerment. Now, the term women's empowerment already suggests that there is something inherently weak in women that needs to be powered. Now, you tell me, do you think women are weak? Or have they been told that they are weak? Who are we really? Now, if we go back to the scriptures, it tells us that we are all expression of the infinite power of the universe, unique expressions. But then, do we feel that? Do we feel as powerful as the universe? I'm sure you will agree with me that you don't. I don't, for certainly. And why is that? And how is this infinite power of the universe channeled into each of our individual selves? And here, yogic philosophy gives us the chakras. In particular, I'm going to talk about Swadhisthana chakra, which is located at the sacral center in the pelvic region. Now, Swa stands for self and Adhisthanam stands for basis. So what is the basis of our self? And the answer is, it is based on our beliefs. Now, unfortunately, most of our beliefs we have adopted consciously or unconsciously from a very young age. In fact, it has been installed into most of us through the biases and prejudices that we were exposed to. And this happened at an age where we had neither the ability nor the clarity to be able to discriminate what was right, what was fair, and what is not. So, through social conditioning, which still exists in large parts of India, I'm saying India because I'm not really aware of what goes on in the rest of the world. But the statistics of female infanticide, the desire to have more male children, in fact, so much that the whole statistics are skewed in so many states, all of it points to a very ugly truth that girls really hold very little value, especially in comparison to boys. And in some very sad cases, are not even needed. So, how do we deal with this? Is it any wonder that we grow up feeling unwanted, with little value, when social conditioning itself and society has a word for us, the weaker sex. So, consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, women have imbibed that we are not as good as men. And in a lot of cases, we have also been brought up in families where very little value has been given to the girl child, her desires, her opinions, none of it has mattered, and her voice has never been heard. This is the reality for a lot of women. And it is no wonder that we have these lectures and talks on empowering women, because society has really been stacked against us. And this has happened over years and centuries. But strangely, it is Shakti that is worshipped in most temples. But sadly, in the families, wives, sisters, daughters have not been given the same value. So the need to talk about these issues and the need to empower women, for them to recognize and align with their divine essence, which is Shakti itself. Now, is it as simple as just intending to be all powerful now that we've heard it? I wish it were, but sadly it's not. Because despite all our best intentions, and I'm sure you will agree with me here, we find ourselves time and time again being dragged down from all our lofty intentions. Now, a good example of this is the New Year's Day resolutions that we set for ourselves, right? I mean, I think it's a miracle if you can actually find someone who can keep it up the whole year. Okay, which is why they say like gyms or yoga centers, they all get, very, very active in the first month, and by second month, the dropping out starts, right? So we know we set intentions. But if our belief system is weak, then we are not able to follow through with those intentions. Now, the animal associated with Swadhisthana Chakra is the crocodile. So if we explain it from that perspective, though our beliefs and intentions, or rather our intentions may be lofty, it is often dragged down by the crocodile into the murky waters of the Swadhisthana. So it is here that the shift has to happen. We need to recognize the need for constant reminding, for constant positive affirmations throughout the day, even not just once a week in yoga class, but for us to be aligned to this truth that we are not separate from the universe, that we are all expressions of the infinite power of the universe. And the more aligned we are to it, the more affirmative and positive our belief systems are, then the more easily our energy rises and goes against that pull down by the crocodile and rises up, and we shine brightly from the Manipura And as the energy goes up to the Anahata, we open our hearts to that beautiful space of unconditional love. And we live from that space. And after all, isn't love the ultimate power? I know I've given you a lot to think about. So, when we come back to our bodies and our practice, how do we embody this in our practice? If we look at our bodies and the pelvic region, which is the space of Swadhisthana, the back of the pelvis is pulled down by hamstrings and the front by the hip flexors. And our attempt to our practice is always to rise from there and go up, rise above that downward pull of false beliefs, false narratives of weakness, of being the weaker sex, of not being worthy to be heard. And all our practices go, therefore, towards loosening and releasing of those hamstrings and the hip flexors so that we can rise powerfully, aligned with Shakti herself, and express our highest potential. Namaste. So let's begin the practice. We're going to gently release the hamstrings, the glutes, work on some hip opening, and also work on strength. Yeah, so to help me with all of this, I use a strap. So if you don't have a strap, don't worry about it. Just use a dupatta or a towel. And I also use a block. Again, don't worry about it. If you have it, just use it. Otherwise, just use anything thick that you have, like a thick book. All of it will suffice. So I'm going to move back and we're going to start with some lying down postures at the beginning. Yeah. So just lie back on your mat. Yeah, and if you need some support for your head, you can always keep a block below you, right? But if you don't need it, you don't need to use it. So we're going to start with Padmamuktasan. All of these positions, it really helps if you keep your left knee bent. Yeah, so I'm going to work with the right side first. I'm going to hug that right thigh towards my chest. But if you keep your left knee bent, it helps with the flexion. Yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. So working towards getting that right thigh to come as close to your chest as possible. And just holding it here for a few seconds as you inhale and exhale. Your attention towards your body, just connecting to that flexion at the knee, the flexion at the hip. And just staying here as you inhale and exhale. Feeling the gentle release of the glutes along the right side. Okay, and then if you have a strap, right, just using your strap, going into Supta Padangusthasana. So put the strap through the foot, right, and slowly straighten your leg. Yeah, so there are many ways of using the strap. If you have a loop, you can loop it, right? And then if you don't want to use a strap, you can just hold your legs. Yeah, so wherever it is comfortable, you can just hold your ankles, right? If you can hold your feet, that also is fine, right? Try to keep your front thighs going back. Yeah, and just stay here as you inhale and exhale. Yeah, so holding your calves also is fine. Keep your elbows slightly bent. Just drawing the leg towards you. Okay, but if you have tight hamstrings, it really helps to use a strap or a dupatta. And if you want to increase the stretch, maintaining this position, yeah, so be really conscious of the position, maintaining the position, allow the left heel to slowly go down. Yeah, so it's important if we are unconscious, what happens is that as we try to straighten the left leg, this right leg will also go back. Yeah, so like a compensation. So maintain a really good position with your knee bent. Hold it here as you slowly release the left heel forward. Yeah, and staying here in this beautiful position Feeling the deep release along the right glutes, the right hamstrings, the right back of the knee, the calves, as you inhale and exhale. Okay, and slowly release the leg. Now we work on the left side. Yeah, just hug the left thigh to your chest. We're doing the same positions, bringing the thigh as close to your abdomen as possible. Okay, and then from here, working on Supta Padangusthasana. So like I said, if you need to use a strap, you can use a strap. Right? So placing the loop through the strap, through the foot, straighten the leg. Okay, keeping your elbows bent. Okay, feeling that nice deep release along the back of your leg, the hamstrings, the back of the knees, the calves, and continuously drawing the leg towards you. Okay, and like we did in the other side, okay, when you feel fairly open at the back of the leg, then slowly beginning to release the right heel forward. Yeah, the right heel slowly goes down, right? So just be really aware, working through both sides to increase the stretch and the release along the back of your left leg. Okay, and then slowly release the leg. Yeah, so when you're doing all of these practices at home, you can do it for a much longer period. Yeah, so now we're not holding for so long, but these can all be a 1 minute and eventually even a 2 or 3 minute position. Okay, now from here, we're going into Supta Marichi, for which we try to bring the left knee down. So alignment is important. Try to get the right knee down and try to get the ankle and knee to be in one line. Yeah, so again, depending on how open the hips, the glutes, the hamstrings are, you might find your leg here, and that is okay. Wherever you are is okay, right? Just working with your body. This is Swadhyaya practice, really focusing on your body, bringing the knee down, and then when you feel ready, right, maintaining this position, allowing the left heel to go forward as well. Yeah, so you're working through both sides, bringing the right knee down, and then stretching forward through the left heel as well. Feeling your body open and feeling the beautiful release along the back, the glutes, the hamstrings, and just staying here as you inhale and exhale. Yeah, this is also a great time whenever you stay in positions, instead of the mind just connecting to stories or I'm tight or I'm not flexible, right? It's a great time to connect to affirmations. Right? I am strong. The infinite power of the universe powers me as well. Okay, so find one affirmation that you can connect with and mentally repeat it. Yeah, and then now we're going to Supta Parsva Padangusthasana, right? So again, depending on your level of flexibility, I encourage you to use a strap if you think your adductors are tight, but otherwise you can just hold your feet and open the foot to the side. Yeah, so just leaving it up to you. This is also an option. Just hold the foot, open the leg to the side, and feel the beautiful deep release. Yeah, along your right inner thigh. Feel the adductors open, release as you inhale and exhale. Feel releasing with the tightness all the false beliefs of the past that hold us back, that keep us down. Yeah, and then slowly release and working with the other side. So again, it always makes it easier if the knee is bent. Yeah, so before you straighten the knee fully, just working with the left side, bring the left knee down. And remember your alignment here, the left knee and the left ankle are in one line. Yeah, and then from here, whenever you feel ready, you release the right heel down. Yeah, so again, here we are not, conscious, right? We will be relaxed like this with the thigh up. I'm just exaggerating this, but try to really work through the heel, that right heel coming forward. Yeah, and bring your attention to the left side. Just sense the left side of your body, the left glutes, the hamstrings. You're feeling nice and open here. Yeah, and then whenever you feel ready, just using the strap, you straighten the leg and feeling that beautiful deep release and along the left inner thighs. So just staying here and connecting to the energy of the pose, just sensing openness, sensing release, sensing a letting go of everything that keeps us tight and bound. Yeah, and then slowly release the leg. Yeah, and then going into Supta Kapotasana. So again, keep your left knee bent and bring the right foot across the left knee. Yeah, again, placing the foot just below the knee. Yeah, and from here, again, the work is to close the gap. Yeah, close the gap between the thigh and the chest. So just lift the left knee up. Okay, bringing that left thigh towards you. Yeah, and working this right knee back. Yeah, as much as possible. Okay, well, that will depend also on the external rotation of your hip. But as much as possible, you are working on that external rotation of the hip, even as the left thigh comes close. So you can take your hand inside and out, okay, and really work on bringing that left thigh as close to your chest as possible. Okay, just staying here, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, and then if you want to increase the work here, right, you can just place the foot in the crook of your left elbow and continuously cradling that leg. You work, you can press that foot down with your left thigh. Okay, if you want some more work, you can just lift the arm up, hold that big toe, and stay. Okay, allowing your arms to be like a cradle for your head. Yeah, like I say, if the knee is bent, it's a little bit easier. If you want more work, now you release that left heel down. Yeah, and then slowly release the leg. Okay, so work the opposite side, bend the left knee, keep this knee going back. Okay, and then draw the right thigh towards you. Okay, try to close the gap between the thigh and the chest. Okay, take your arm inside and out. Hug the thigh towards your chest. Feeling the external rotation of your left hip. Yeah, and then if you feel good still, you can just place the foot in the crook of your elbow, right? Drawing the shin close to your chest. Yeah, then you can lift your head up. So you can keep that thigh coming in. Lift your head up, grab your toe. Allow your head to go back. Yeah, then finally release the right heel forward and stay. Yeah, and then slowly release. Right, so we've done several variations of it. So you don't have to just be fixated on getting the end one. Yeah, try to focus on the process of each asana. Right, that gives us joy in the work. Right, otherwise we're only measuring ourselves against whether we got it or we didn't get it. Right, so now we're working to Baddha Konasana. So try to bring the soles of your feet together. Right? And depending on the external rotation of your hips, the position of your knee will happen, right? Sometimes the knees will be very high, and in that case, you have to sit on a block. That allows you to have a deeper fold at the pelvis. So if you are reasonably open and your knees are quite flat, then you can work on increasing the stretch by coming forward. You're trying to get that beautiful tilt to your pelvis. So here you can work as you inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, fold forward. Yeah, this continuously working. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, slowly walking back. The most important thing being you working with what is right for you, right? It's not about what we see in an Instagram post or what you even see right now on your screen. It is you working with your body, right? Being aware of where your body is right now and doing your best with it, right? We have to honor our bodies, right? We have to honor our practice by respecting its boundaries. Yeah, from here we will work on Ardha Bhumanasana. So just bring the right leg forward. So even here I find it's useful if you have a block, right? So again, the height of the block is something that you have to adjust, again, depending on your body, right? On how open your hamstrings and glutes are. So Swadhyaya is a continuous practice. Yeah, we have to keep tuning into our body. We have to really build awareness of our body. We have to know our body's strengths, where we need to work. So if we need to use a block, if we do need to use a block, right? All of that is something that we need to figure out. Yeah, it's not on whether I use a block or not. Yeah, and then here, any position you can go deeper using your breath. So as you inhale, you arch your spine and look up. And as you exhale, you fold deeper. You can walk your hands forward as you fold deeper. Okay, again working. Inhale, arch your spine and look up. Exhale and fold deeper. Again, inhale, arch your spine and look up. Exhale and fold deeper, right? Your whole torso extending over your leg. And feeling that beautiful release along the back of your right leg, the right glutes, the hamstrings, the back of the knees, the calves. Yeah, and then slowly coming back and working on the hip flexors here. So your left hip flexors, releasing it by allowing your hip to come forward. Yeah, so as your hip comes forward, you can feel a nice release here, right? So again, if you want a deeper release, you can come up a bit. So if you see a little bit, our chest is collapsing towards the thigh. So if you use blocks, you can lift up. Yeah, and feeling that beautiful rising energy all the way up from the Swadhisthana, moving towards the Manipura, keeping that heart space open, keeping that chest open. as you inhale and exhale. Yeah, and then if you want to work a little bit more with your shoulders, these are all just options, right? You can use a strap, right? Lengthen through your arms and take your arms back, working on shoulder flexion. So just taking the arms back, just pulsing a little bit here. Okay, and stay. Yeah, slowly release and feeling, right? We did two positions. One that elicited a deep release from the hamstrings and glutes, and the other from your hip flexors. So working the left side, just keeping the left leg forward. So working on the Ardha Hanumanasana first, the half split position. So bring your hands forward, right? So I leave this up to you, whether you need to use a block, whether you don't. Working with your spine, inhale, arch your spine. Exhale and fold. Right? So just fold it over the leg as much as you can using your breath. Inhale, arch your spine. Exhale and fold. And finally, inhale, arch your spine. Exhale and fold. Okay, and then slowly rising up. Okay, and working on your hip flexor, allowing that right hip to sink down. So, and this way you can see better, right? Allowing the hip to sink down, feeling that release along the right hip flexors, right? And then trying to come up a bit. Remember, if you can come up a bit, so I just block a little bit higher, right? So you can see that lift there, feeling the energy rising all the way up from being drawn down, being lifted up, rising up to the heart space. Yeah, and then you can just open the heart space here. Just open your chest, open the heart. Yeah, and then you can use the strap as well. Lifting your arms up, working on nice deep shoulder flexion. Yeah, and then slowly rising up, coming up. Okay, so we've actually worked to get into a good split. Yeah, so for a good Hanumanasana, we need both of these openings. We need the hamstring opening, we need the hip flexor opening, and we worked on both now. So working to your best position. Yeah, so I think come back a little bit. So if you're on the mat, it's a little harder to split, but just doing your best, right? Allowing the heel to come forward, right? Just finding your best position. Okay, so like I said, just do your best. Okay, try to square your hips. Make sure the weight is distributed on your left thigh as well. Just staying here as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, and then working the other side, right? So you may not split all the way, but wherever you are is good. Yeah. So just working with your left side now. Right? Just sliding your leg. Right? Look at this whole practice as exploring your body. Yeah. So working to your best position. Know that consistent practice is the key. Right? The more consistently we work, the better will be our practice. Yeah. And all of these are everyday practices. So just working here, releasing. Just staying tall, lifting through your spine, opening through your chest, feeling the energy rising up. Anga Swadhisthana, lifting up to Manipura, feeling that unconditional love and heart space. Okay, and then slowly coming back. Yeah, and then just working into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog position. So from here, just rising up. Yeah, and then if you want to just increase your work on strength, since our whole theme is about strength and empowerment, right? So from here, you can just see how comfortable you feel. Just lift one hand and place it on your hip. Yeah, just staying here for a few breaths. Yeah, and then slowly lower down. Shift weight to the other side. Lift the arm up. Slowly lower down. And then take your feet back, shoulders forward, and move into up. Okay, so these are all the classical strength positions. Okay, so press down through your palms, engage your upper back, engage your abdominal muscles, keep the heels pulling back as you keep pressing down. Yes, you can do a few rounds here, just moving back into down dog, feeling the release. Now the calves, the back of the knees, and then moving forward. You feel the shifting of the weight, moving back, moving forward. Yeah, as you move forward, connect to strength, connect to power. Know that you are power itself, Shakti. Okay, and then slowly release and move into Jaipur's Balasana. Is slowly rising up and moving forward again here. So if you are comfortable with these positions, you can work a little bit more into strength, right? So going up here and turn to your side and lift one arm up. Yeah, so just staying strong, looking up. Okay, slowly go down and working to the opposite side. So I'm just changing sides so that you can just be a bit more comfortable watching me. And so just turn to your side, lift the arm up. Okay, slowly lower down. So these are all different variations that you can do to work on strength. Yeah, and then you can place your forearm down, right? Again, here work into forearm down. Yeah, so it's like Adho Mukha Svanasana. Only thing you're working with your forearms down. Yeah, lifting up. Yeah, and here too, you can walk your feet back, keep the shoulders forward, and stay. Connecting to strength, connecting to power, your own inner power, your own inner Shakti. Yeah, and then you can, like you did earlier, you can just work here. Allow the hips to move up and then come down and back, down and back. and down and release. And so as you release, you can just make a cushion with your hands, turn the cheek to the side and relax. Focus on your breath. Sense your breath. Be mentally affirm. I am an expression of the infinite power of the universe. I am power itself. Yeah, and then from here, turn to your side, right? So you're just working the similar sequence here. Lift your arm up and stay. Looking up. Yeah, and then slowly go down. Just working the other side. Right, so these are the side positions, the single arm positions. Lift your arm up, look up. Okay, slowly lower down and coming up to a seated position. So just working a little bit more on strength. So this is a variation of Purvottasana called table pose. This is really an easier version of that. So place your feet down, place your palms down, and you can keep your fingers looking in and then press down and lift your hips. Yeah, so you can just work here 6 times. So each time you inhale, you press down through your feet and lift the hips up. Exhale and going down. Inhale and lift down. Exhale and down. Inhale and lift down. Exhale and down. Okay, last round. Press down, lift up and hold. Okay, slowly release and come up. Yeah, so we also will work a little bit on some abdominal strength. So you can to work into Navasana, right? That requires a lot of work. So you start off with single leg. Yeah? So you just straighten your leg and just stay. Okay, so as you straighten your leg, you really contract your quads. Okay, keeping the knee straight. Okay, and then slowly release. And the left side. Okay, and then lower down again, right leg up. Lower down, left leg up. Lower down, and both legs up. Okay, slowly lower down, and just coming into a cross-legged position. Okay, sitting with your eyes closed. Just focus on your breath as you inhale and exhale. Keep bringing your attention to the pelvic area. The region of the upper pelvis. The kshetra, the space of the Swadhisthana chakra. Okay, and connecting to the Bija mantra space, which is one. So we'll just do 6 rounds of mantra chanting. One, one, Vam. 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 Just staying in the beautiful space and vibration of the Bija mantra, empowered with beliefs that make us strong, aware of our own strengths, our own abilities and skills, that will take us to fulfill our highest potential. So just stay here for a few minutes in this beautiful space, feeling uplifted, empowered, strengthened. Namaste.